Okay, so there are just a few more numbers that we track to ensure that you're on task and maintaining a high level of performance. These numbers are a little different in that you're constantly being compared to your peers. So for example, like quality reviews, you guys know that B levels must have a 94% quality score or better in order to meet expectations. That's a hard number. With the numbers we're going to go over in this video, you're constantly being compared to the call center average, and we know there's a problem if you drop below average. As long as you're maintaining the same average as your peers or better, we know that you're doing something right. Lead percentage is one of these numbers. We look at lead percentage to ensure that you're doing everything in your power to assist your callers as much as possible and achieve one call resolution whenever you can. This number gets pretty complicated as you advance because of the variety of calls you will take. In general, though, you get credit for a lead whenever you're able to collect information from your caller for our client. As a new employee, your calls are restricted to pledge calls and your options to help your callers are very limited. So a lead is very clearly defined for you at first. A pledge is your primary goal on every call, so a pledge definitely counts as a lead. The only other way you can help a caller directly is to take a message for them, so a message ticket would be the other way that you can capture a lead on one of your A-level calls. Disconnect time is a very important number since our clients are billed by the minute. This is how we make sure that you're only billing our client for the time you spend actively helping a customer. Any time spent on an account with no caller on the line will count as disconnected time, and it will cause this number to go up. A certain amount of disconnect time is necessary, as you will get no call or dead air calls, and because it is important that you spell check your work and proofread it to ensure proper spelling and grammar before you send it to the client. With that said, we need to monitor the number to make sure you're not spending an excessive amount of time disconnected on an account. You should begin working to limit your disconnect time as soon as possible. Handle disconnected calls efficiently. You can impact this number by helping your callers on the line, keeping your callers on the line as much as possible while you type up their message. This will ensure that you're not typing up the message on disconnected time, and it will give you a chance to summarize your message with your caller before sending it to the client, and this will ensure that you have all relevant details in your message. Just make sure you ask for a moment and set the caller's expectations for the time you think it will take to type up their message. For example, you might say something like this. One moment please while I document this message for you. It'll take me about 30 seconds, but I'll be right here if you need me. I just want to make sure I get everything down for your message. This number is also used to ensure you're not abusing the training account. To ensure profitability and good service levels, we need all employees ready to accept calls at any time during their shift. Some time off the phone is necessary for training or to speak to your supervisor, but this time needs to be controlled. Use the message center to communicate non-urgent concerns, and in general, make sure you're using the training account sparingly and efficiently. Most people that have problems with disconnect time are spending too much time on the training account running around the call center when they don't need to be. Quickly, this is a good time to point out that you have a spell check tool in your dashboard down here. Please use this regularly as proper documentation is critical to us. In addition to spell checking your work, you should also make sure you reread the message to make sure it flows professionally and is written using proper grammar. No one is double checking your work before it is sent to our client, so it's up to you to make sure you represent us professionally. Back to the disconnect time area, there's another number here, turn on percentage. For both disconnect time and for turn on percentage, you're constantly being compared to the call center average, which is what you're looking at right here. However, they're different in that your disconnect time should be as low as possible and your turn on time should be as high as possible. You're required to maintain a disconnect time lower than 11% and a turn on time above 99%. You should keep yourself turned on at all times, and most people that have problems with this number are forgetting to turn back on after they pull up the break or the training account. You're encouraged to turn off while you fetch the break account to avoid being interrupted, but make sure you turn back on immediately. Thank you.